wow, it's done. And like so many finales before it, we anticipated the final showdown, was genuinely touched by the sentiment, and grieved for the show that would never return. And after that comes the nitpicking. But it's not like most finales, because this one actually has an ending! Cough, cough. We see the rest of the Gravity Falls locals and past supernatural incarnations band together to turn the Mystery Shack into a giant robot to fight Bill. And through clearly improbable means, save the rest of the remaining townsfolk, and then Stan ruins everything. Now when you get down to it, Dipper and Mabel's emotional resolution of the series was last episode, making this just their kicking ass until their long string of goodbyes when they have to leave Gravity Falls. I can't yet. So this was really Stan's resolution episode, and in half of it, he is being the world's most massive ill-timed tool. It's not necessarily out of character though, wanting to make himself feel more important, resenting everyone else for fawning over his brother, ergo resenting any semblance of the supernatural to the point where it's a reflex to pretend it doesn't exist. And yes, the tension between the two needed to come to a peak before it could be resolved. But seriously, this is not the time, Stan! We finally got to implement our long foreshadowed image circle and you ruined it! But I'll admit, I'm glad this didn't end with some sort of friendship canon. But of course it takes the kids' safety and sibling relationship to bring the grown men to their senses and finally reconnect. Stan even makes a truly impressive sacrifice to rid the world of one of the creepiest foreboding villains in animation history. And man, I really wish this show had stuck and honored that sacrifice. But no, it's still a Disney show, and it has to end happily, and I get it. And to its credit, it does draw out the scene long enough for us to feel that it's a truly devastating scene. Stan made such a noble sacrifice, and no, he's okay now. Did anybody consider that if his memory's back, Bill probably is too? No? Okay. Also, to get the rest of the negatives out of the way, Pacifica's character had a major backtrack, but most importantly, how dare you write down "see you next summer" when we know the show's not gonna return next summer? Sorry, that's my pain talking. In universe, the twins probably do go back. You look back on the series and you see instances where more mini mysteries and characters could have come into play at the end. I was sure Blendon was gonna come back at some point. I don't know, maybe that's just from my perspective. The show has always been about character first. And even then, the level of callbacks to past episodes here reflects the attention to continuity that Gravity Falls has always excelled at. It all works, and it's a satisfying conclusion. I loved seeing those past supernatural characters come back. I even liked Gideon at the end. I loved that the giant robot had a dinosaur hand, and everyone got a Mabel sweater. Overtooling aside, I loved Stan's arc, and even loved those long, stretched out, over-emotional goodbyes mimicking our own pain.
Kids, you knuckleheads were nothing but a nuisance, and I'm glad to be rid of you.
Oddly, the parts that got me the most was Dipper and Wendy trading hats, because who gives a crap about lice? The twin brothers finally going on their trip around the world, and oddly enough, Bill imitating Stephen Colbert.
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when.
Oh, I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Because it's how the Colbert Report ended! And as much as I'll miss the show, I'm fine with it ending because the creator called it and didn't want to force it any further, turning it into a Simpsons or an Inuyasha. Besides, we've already seen when a mystery series has to prolong its mystery, constantly making it seem like this was the plan all along when you never know if your next season is going to be renewed. In the end, all I can say is, thank you, Alex Hirsch, for one of the best and most unique animated series of all time. This show was able to bring together comedy, character, a progressing story with mystery and horror, two elements that are so tragically missing from young TV animation, and made animation as a whole better for it.
We'll meet again, don't know where.